Hey, field agents, it's the FBI here. So, I did a big blunder today. I'm responsible for signing this up for BOC, and I dropped the ball and did my first not sign up. I think I signed up and it got kicked out, but who knows? I know it's going to suck not getting to play tonight. Okay, I want to do a follow up on yesterday's video on the layering. If you'll on the T1s, well, it was too long for me to find it. If you're doing like just a T1 trap, I think the mount's the best way to go. If you're doing the regular and then doing the swap out when you're down low, I think it's best to do the ground. And the reason being is, well, you know, the first thing you lose is your siege. So you definitely wouldn't want to do the siege. And the second thing you lose is your mount. And then you're left with range and mount. So in the mount and the ground has a lot higher defense rating than the range, and I think it's best to go by volume on building up the ground. Do the T1s. Okay. Oh. Yeah, so you leave your regular setup, and we talked about you start out with the siege. You know, you do your general gate guard with the assistant, with the siege assistant. Once your siege is below T12, below T10, you switch out to the range and siege assistant, because the next thing you're going to want to do is increase your range offense. Or you could swap and do a siege and mount, because the next thing you're going to do is go after your mount. And I do have a couple mount generals if you're lucky enough to get. Here's my T1 setup, but I still had too much power here, but this was the foreshadow before I started using them. My Leonidas and that guy, I ain't gonna try to say his name, Avorian. So I tried to use him too early. I should not have used him until my ground I shouldn't have used my T1 guy until my ground was down to the 12ths. What they did was they filleted my range with this last siege hit, and I offered no coverage to my siege. Right here, I offered no coverage to my mount because they went after my range. Oh, they went after my T1s. Okay. So you just go report by report. You can see what each one went after. Now they sieged here. I know they ain't sieging to take out ground, but they take out the rest of my range. So my range layers are too thick. And now they go with mount because the range is gone. It's a good little team. This is the time. After this hit is when I should have used my T1s. Because the 15s are gone. 4/5 of my 13s are gone. This would have been the time to start it. And see, this is when my T1 defense began. Because the numbers not, until you get to T12s, they're not beneficial over percentages. Yeah, so get rid of those. Half of the 12s. And then we get into the hardness. Oh, wrong version. Not bad when you think I don't have any mount or no siege. Which that's on me. I should have been healing. I let them dry hit me on all them layers above, and I wasn't putting any. I should have been healing little 1,000 layers so they wasn't having dry lines. But this is even without doing that. Alright. Then they came back and got me. It's just the pure volume of it. It didn't. It's a volume play here. UT1s ain't really gonna matter when you get messing with that. So a deeper dive into how this worked. We had talked about which I need to take that mount off, but my Dragon has ground buffs. Now it's better. Alright. So my Dragon's all grounded out now. And you use this Dragon because of this. If somebody hits you, they're either going to hit you with the counter one, or with T1s, you usually hit it with the same suit. So if they hit me with mount, it's minus 50. If they hit me with ground, it's minus 50 to the HP. And because you're using T1s, buffs don't matter much at all for your Dragons, but the debuffs is what's going to count. And that's why the blue Dragon is the way to go. And you fix that too. Over here on the suit, I put the Augustus armor on them, which debuffs everything heavily. I mean, the whole suit just ground HP 40, which that doesn't really matter if we're messing with T1s, but 40% is 40%. Debuffing everything. 2 times on mount. Ground plus. Debuffing everything. 2 times on mount. Ground plus. Minusing on mount. Ground 1 time. This does range, but 3 times subtracting off of ground for when they do the same suit on you. Well, this doesn't offer much on the ground or mount, but for when they do the siege and range, it's all over the place. Alright, this is the all, which doesn't really help you on this, but does the mount and does the HP, and the 4th line's wasted on how we're using it. It's another all, which the all's not really wasted. Like when I put it on too early, the alls would have helped. And because this doesn't have the siege extension, I'm putting it on after my siege is dead, so that doesn't really, that balances out too. But it got the all, enemy mount defense, enemy ground HP, and the 4th line's wasted on the defense. Your 6-piece sets on the bottom. Enemy troop attack minus 10, perfect. 2nd line's wasted. 3rd line, extra 12% on the attacks, so everybody. You got ground, in ground and mount, which the mount's wasted because they should be already dead, but an extra on the ground, all on the ground, and debuffing the mount attacks. ground, range, mount. Because the range will still be alive when I first put them on. And I haven't blooded them yet. I had it come in the future, but I was trying to wait till I got to 540. But I should blood them one time and get to 15 and 10 for the ground. And just not do the 2. Just to do the 1. But anyway, that's something different. Alright, so we got that. What else can make your T1s better is this new building. Well, we'll do arch on. This is new. I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to it. For me, in City Troop HP, it's huge on a T1. You need to have a 4-star general on this first one. I need the 5-star Scorpio, but that's where I'm lacking right now. Down here, because even though this is mount, it still give ground buffs. I mainly focus on siege because I'm mainly a siege player. So you'll see I went and done some of these for siege. In city ground defense 10%. Duh. And then okay, 4 stars. In city HP 6%. Over here on the range, in city ground HP 8. For your regular T1 traps, look at that third line. In city mount troop defense plus 10%. In city troop defense plus 6%. If you put a 4 red star general here on a T1 trap house, that's mount, you will increase your defense 16%. And on the siege, number 2 is 8% on the health for mount. 6% on the 4-star for anybody on defense. Down here on the bottom, if y'all been collecting these, ground and mount attack 4%. That's for offense or defense. Number 2 is for HP. So you can pick which one is more important. If you're running a T1, you want to pick the HP if that's your main defense. If you're a power player, you most likely want to look at your in-city attack percentages. Like this one. This is range and siege. This is probably where I'm going to be at. Which I've already started one of these. This one. Yeah. Range and siege HP. range and siege HP, ground and mount HP, ground and mount HP. So the mount and ground is the exact same. The range and siege are the exact same. They're double units. And if you'll notice, it's the same here too, 5%. 5%, yeah. And I haven't done this one. I couldn't wait. I went ahead and took my academy to 39, y'all. But it's okay. So we get percentages there. When you run the T1, it's very important to have these on correctly. You want to have the subsidy attack on, trap triggering on, and city HP on for sure. Subsidy HP on. City attack on. Defense on. For your new people. Troop defense on. And that won't really matter for defending. Well, back to dragon. What else can make it better? The actual layers. You come down here. I know a lot of people's got the billion layers. My layers ain't quite as thick as what they should be by players my size comparison. I usually try to add 5 or 6 million here and there, or 10 or 20 on the power days to just stay consistent. But I'm working towards 1 billion each on the bottom. And then having 50 here and 25 on the 3. If y'all don't know it, the T4 acts as a protecting unit to your top siege. There's no logic reasoning why, but sometimes they just step out in front of the siege attack and grabs a hold of the attacks. Alright, anything else new? That's it.